I had to get the thumbnail. Quiet Place, Day One. Prequel to the original Quiet Place and Quiet Place Part 2. And my brief thoughts, if you've never seen my reviews on those films, liked them, loved them both. Loved them both. I think the first one's probably a little better because we're dealing more, we have John Krasinski in that one. But the second one is still a fantastic follow-up. I like the little bit of lore learning we have on these creatures. Although I admit I'm not huge on the designs. Are fine. They're just not what I was hoping for. I like this family. I like the characters. So when they told us we were getting Day One, what happens when these creatures that hunt by sound end up in the noisiest city on the planet? And I'm not a big prequel guy. Okay, I liked Furiosa. Okay, I love Furiosa, honestly. And there's prequels I like, but I want to see movies go forward most of the time, not go back. So I wasn't not looking forward to the film. It's got Lupita Nyong'o in it. God, and I just saw her hot one. She is so adorable. She really is just like a treasure. Can we protect Lupita Nyong'o with all of our hearts, please? I'm sorry, no Nyong'o, my bad. Lupita Nyong'o, can we protect her, please? But yeah. And it's also got Joseph Quinn, Alex Wolff, Djimon Hounsou's in there for a little bit. But yeah. So with all that said, what did I think? Well, this is not my favorite of the three. I still think it's the first one. This is completely worthy of being in this franchise. This is a great movie. This is a wonderful movie. It's still captured. It's not John Krasinski coming back to do it either, but it still had the same feel as the first one did, and the second one it feels like it's in the same world. It feels proper. When you're trying not to make a noise in this movie, you feel that. And when a noise is made, you're like, oh shit. It's like no. So I think they captured it great. There are some fantastic sequences in this film. Not even sequences, just scenes. The scene you briefly see it. They're in the water and one's on top of a roof. They're basically in a subway that's kind of flooded. They're trying to get out. That's a tense ass scene. That's a frightening scene. So yeah, really good scene. There's a scene involving Joseph Quinn? Joseph Quinn and the cat, who's kind of an MVP in this movie, by the way. The cat is kind of low key, not even low key, the MVP. But seeing him in a construction site, and that is Jesus. Yeah, and I mean the story is Lupita Nyong'o. She is. I'm not going to say something about her character because that would actually be a bit of a. There's a bit of it's a spoiler a little bit. I wouldn't say spoiler. It's part of her character. Do I want to say that? And let me say it's not a spoiler. It's just part of the plot, but I kind of don't want to talk about it because of what I'm going to say later on. So I'm just going to say this: there is immediately something about her character. We learn it immediately with her. And she goes with some people to go see a show in New York, but then they got to leave, and then the aliens come down, and she's kind of isolated. And then she is able to get back to the theater, and Djimon Hounsou and his family are there, and someone she knows is there, but then she gets separated from them, and then she meets Joseph Quinn. So there's morals about still learning of finding value in living. There's morals about, or there's lessons about still working together and still finding your humanity. And it's still a great exploration of how you could work and live in this type of world. And they do stuff in this movie that they still hadn't done in other movies. We had no idea what it was like when it rained. Especially massive thunderstorms with these creatures around. But with these creatures around and the rain making a lot of noise and thunder, you can actually talk. You can't shout unless you're shouting through the thunder, which is a good scene. When the thunder strikes, they actually shout. They have to break down the door to her apartment at one point. And they do. There's a little bit of a joke to it that I liked. We all got a bit of a laugh to it. I liked her character because you could totally sympathize with where she's coming from. And the thing about her character, ultimately, and when you start to see the movie, first scene of the movie with her, you'll know what I mean by this. You ultimately know how her story has to end. But the way it ends, and it's the end of the movie, is how her story ends. I actually think it's like perfect. It's like chef's kiss. Because it's sad, but beautiful, and kind of badass all at once. And I just liked her character very much. She felt very relatable. But Joseph Quinn also felt very relatable. He's a guy who's just there for like school. He's not even from America. He's from England. And they trauma bond more or less. And he just shows himself to be just a genuinely good guy, which is good. I like that. The creature effects still look good. There are points where I think it does look a little bit more CGI-y, but not by any distracting measure. You learn a little bit more about the creatures in this version, particularly when it comes to food. If you know in the original movie, if you actually stop and like read the board on the wall, like he's been making like notes and asking questions about the creature, John Krasinski, he makes a point of writing down why don't they eat what they kill. We actually get a little bit of insight, at least into that. And like how they function as species, like with each other. So we get a little bit more on them. We also get to see the fact that yes, they can't swim, and apparently they can't breathe underwater. So that's a reason why they actually avoid like deep water. So like cool, great, wonderful. Like I said, tension is great when it's there. The human moments are there. The characters are good. Would I like to see a further sequel? Sure. But look, this is a good movie, and I'm not going to complain about a good movie. That being said, there are a couple things I can kind of. Oh, hello, little spider. Look, there's a little spider in there. It's a tiny guy, tiny guy. I'll just put you down here. Like not in like a type of spider. I don't care. That's in my room. Like I live out in the woods. I don't care if there's spiders in my house. They eat the bugs. But regardless, for one, although I love Jaimon Hansu, and I get the reason he is there, because it's supposed to show how he got to the island in the second movie, like where all these people came from in the second movie when they find the island. But there really isn't a point for him to be there. I'm not going to say how long he's in the movie, but it's not enough for him to really be warranted. And again, I love seeing me Jaimon Hansu. Give me Jaimon Hansu all day long. But give me something where I actually get to see Jaimon Hansu a lot more. That's all I'm saying. There's also characters like, oh, this is interesting. Why? Oh, I didn't see you in the trailer. You're not making it out of here. There's also scenes in the trailer that aren't in the movie. That scene in the trailer where you see the generator pop on and that guy goes to fix it, and he kind of like goes, huh, and then the thing gets him. That's not in the trailer. That's just not in the trailer. So that's a little bit of false advertising. There's a similar scene. Here's the thing. There is a scene where that happens in terms of like what the scenario is. A generator pops on, someone goes to get it, and then they get got. But it's not that scene. So I'm not 100% sure what was going on. Maybe it was, most likely what it was it was a cut scene. That's what it was. Also, at times, it's almost not following its own world's logic, because these things will go after any noise. And there are constantly like planes and helicopters hovering over the city, and you see these things running after them. But every time, like, you hear the passing of them, you still will get, like, one still there. It's like, well, shouldn't you be following along? Because you guys are, like, keened into sound. And it sounds like a helicopter or a plane going, or missiles. Like, I'm not exactly sure why you're still dragging your ass here, buddy. But whatever. That's a minor thing. There's good little callbacks, too, to what we learned in the first two movies. Again, not even callbacks. We learned they can't swim. By the way, I still don't know why they didn't try nuking the city after it was abandoned, but whatever. Because they're on New York City. Like, at that point, drop a bomb. Like, yeah, maybe, but not on American soil. They're not going to be in America. It's going to be United Nation of Death Angels. Which, by the way, there was a moment of symbolism in a church. I'm not going to say what exactly it was, but I'm like, oh, Death Angels. Good angels. Okay. But, yeah, like the callbacks that they can't swim. Not even callback. I'm not saying they can't swim. Scenes involving water, which were very important in the first movie. And the ticking ear. There are good callbacks in the film too. Is it the best film of the year so far? Ooh, that's a good question. It's a good film. It would be in my top 10 right now. I don't know where, but it would be in my top 10. I think Dune 2 is still probably the best film of the year so far. That would probably be my pick for best film of the year, but I have to run down all my films by the end of the year to figure out which one is the best. Regardless, yeah, my thoughts are go see this film. If you liked the first two, you're gonna like this. Trailers. We got I knew it was probably existed before I saw it, but I just loved watching the R-rated trailer so much for Deadpool vs. Wolverine, where Wolverine's actually there, that I didn't actually watch the cut version of it, the cut down version of it. So yeah, I must admit it's a little different watching the cut down version of it. Still, can't wait. I got my tickets in advance immediately when they went on sale, because I assumed they were going to go quick, but they did not go as quick as I thought, so I've just been sitting on them right now. But we're rolling along. Let's see. We got that Maxine trailer. Don't care about it, if I'm going to be honest. I didn't see X, so I can't speak to that. Or what was the character she played? Or was it Pearl? Or what was the character's name anyway? Not Maxine. The one she's literally playing the same character she played. Not the same character she played, but she's playing the character. She's playing the younger version of the old woman in X, and I can't remember the name, what that one was, or what her name. It was the name of the woman, and I can't remember it. Didn't see that. I didn't see that one where it was like clones and rich people doing shit to their clones. I'm not a big Mia Goth fan, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't. And that's, to be fair, I've seen bits of her acting. I'm just not drawn to her as an actress, personally. That's not to say I hate her or anything. I've never actually watched something with her. But, like I said, I'm not really drawn to her either. So let's see. We got the Twisters trailer again. Looks like dumb fun. So I'm down for Twisters. Why not? Obviously, Deadpool, Wolverine. I mentioned that. Let's see here. I'm trying to find anything else. Trap. New trailer for Trap, by the way. So I wanted the new trailer. The new trailer is good, by the way. But I was kind of hoping my theory that he's not the killer, he's just caught the killer and wants to get away. I was kind of hoping that would be the twist. Kind of like I was hoping for the twist in The Acolyte. Although my dad, side note for The Acolyte, and I'll talk more about The Acolyte when we finish it. Like I said, I'm going to be doing like half and halves. My dad brought up a good theory that maybe he's not the actual, maybe he's the apprentice of the Sith. He's his own acolyte. He's still Sith. And now he's getting a new apprentice to try to overthrow his master and become the ruler too. Maybe that's what's going on. If that is the actual mystery unfolding, a little bit of that show can be salvaged. Regardless, no, this trailer kind of makes it pretty clear he's probably the serial killer. Which, whatever, it's fine. I'm kind of disappointed by that. But whatever. I would have hoped there would have been a better twist than that. But still, regardless, I don't think it's bad by any stretch of the means. Speak No Evil. I don't know if I'm going to honestly see that, because I know the movie it's based off of, and that movie's got a pretty effed up ending. And I'm not sure I want to sit through that, if I'm going to be honest. And last but not least, we got Smile 2, which, look, I didn't see the original Smile, but I've heard it's really good. I don't know, maybe I'll see it. I know the spoilers, I know everything about the movie, I've just never seen it. I just feel like, look, I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else. I'm not saying I'm super brave, I can face anything. But I feel like I've done enough in my life now, and I've literally lived in a lot of fantasy in my head because of what I do, that I wouldn't be surprised about a lot of things if they turned out to be real. And a demon that goes after trauma, if you see someone dying when they come after it, I feel like if this demon started to haunt me, I just wouldn't care. Like, the idea is, like the demon trying to get to you is whatever, but eventually, I would probably just start to poke fun at it. And it's like, you're not supposed to, and, any exorcist say, don't challenge the demon. Yeah, fuck that. Wow. you only go after depressed people and people who've seen death. Aren't you a manly demon? Prove I'm extra sick. It's always funny, you demons. You always go for the weak-willed. I guess it's just because they're easy targets. I mean, you don't have the balls to go after someone who's got faith in its heart. No. You got to go after the weak in their soul because that's all you can really do, really. Like, that's how I feel. Now, don't get me wrong. I'd probably be an idiot for doing that, but that's kind of how I feel I would be. Like, yeah, no, have fun with that. Like I'm making sweet love to my lover, and all of a sudden they turn into the demon smile, like, yeah, this is kind of do it for me. Let's do it, baby. Like, oh, wait, no. And like they turn their heads like, this is kind of getting me hot. Regardless, the smile, it's still a creepy trailer. I give it that, absolutely. Regardless, though, that's my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Later.